the alleged sexual harassment, where Chief Whip, counters Senator Natasha Akpoti. This situation for me, let me say it properly, this situation for me is both troubling and deeply disappointing. I was away for 3 weeks. I've been following the news closely. If a sitting senator, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, I hope I pronounced the last name properly, is facing such alleged intimidation and unethical, advances from the Senate president, what does that say about the political space for women in Nigeria? We need to keep it real on this platform. When powerful men use their influence to suppress allegations, to silence motions, and manipulate system, the media becomes the last resort for accountability. So Natasha's allegations aren't just personal grievances. They expose the abuse of power in Nigeria, especially when it comes to politics. I'm agitated about this news because Senator Natasha is one of those female figures, pushing forward the inclusivity of women in Nigerian politics. And knowing that this month of March, is talking about women in general. So they are currently not up to even 5 female senators out of, I think, 109, if I'm correct, in the Nigerian Senate. This is a small number in a country of over 200 million people. Half of those 4 women effectively represent Nigerian female interests in such a male-dominated space is the question I'm asking now. The power of imbalance is in our faces. We can see the evidence, and Natasha's struggle reflects the greater battle for female political participation. I watched her interview following this saga closely. I've had different perspectives. I have my own opinion. As the reason why I'm talking about it on, the trending section today. I watched the video where the chief whip of the Senate was uttering absolute nonsense. Yes, I say it again. Absolute nonsense. The response from Senate Deputy Chief Whip Senator Reuben Abati, I don't know if that's his name right now, is even more appalling to me if you ask me. Instead of addressing the core allegations, he resorted to personal attacks, shaming a woman based on her marital history, her marital challenges and children. The fact that the Senate Deputy Chief Whip came out to spill nonsense, for lack of a better word right now, is absolutely, I don't know the word to use now because I'm trying to hold my emotions. His statement about Natasha's children and personal life is disgusting to me. Why is it that when a woman stands her ground, the response is always to attack her personal life, her personal affairs, rather than addressing the issue at hand? If Akpabio truly obstructed her motion, made advances, why is the conversation not about that issue? Why is the conversation about her private life? I ask him pain. The hypocrisy is clear. If a man, let's keep it real on this platform, if a man marries 3 or 5 women, his praise is powerful. Right. If a woman has children from different relationships, she is condemned. What kind of hypocrisy is that? This is the same country where men in power have multiple wives. They opt from one woman to the other. They have mistresses, yet no one questions their ability to lead. The real question remains, why was Senator Natasha's motion on investigating corruption at Ajaokuta Steel Company repeatedly blocked? If the motion was in the interest of the Nigerians, why deny it? These are the issues that need answers, not childish name calling. When Natasha is fighting an important battle, she also needs to be strategic. This is where I think I need to emphasize on this. The challenges Nigerians face are bigger than personal fights now. We have poverty. We have lack of infrastructure in our country. We have insecurity. We have corruption. Name it. It's endless. She must balance her advocacy with a strong and issue-based approach to governance so that the public sees beyond these battles. Natasha's case is bigger than just her. Yes, I had an opinion about how you carry yourself. Sometimes how you carry yourself makes sometimes leads people on. But listen, that doesn't mean that women don't go through that struggle. It represents the struggle of Nigerian women who dare to step into a male-dominated space. We need more women in politics, and they must be treated with same respect that men are accorded. Men in power must understand that women do not owe them submission or favors or silence. Because I think that, this issue at hand is really bigger than Natasha. And I must use this to cap my thoughts right now, because I feel that Natasha, again, must carry herself with dignity. And so that her name will not just end with the narrative of harassment with men. There's so much I believe that she can't represent in that corridor of power. So she needs to be strategic about the issue at hand. And what the chief whip said about Natasha, I believe that he owes Natasha an apology, because you do not use women's personal struggles or personal challenges to want to redefine them. Remember, you have a daughter. Remember, you have a mother. And remember, you have a sister in your own front. Let this nonsense stop about women who are representing other women globally.
For the first time since our return to 1999, we have the chairman of the National Assembly, the number 3 citizen in the country, being accused in open plenary of sexual harassment. And what even makes it more sordid is that this was done in the presence of a UK parliamentary delegation led by Kate Osamo, the MP for Edmonton, who was there along with other parliamentarians. I think those British parliamentarians must have been shocked. They must have been asking Kate Osamo that, well, is this how they operate in your country? So it's exposing, the Nigerian National Assembly to ridicule. And this is why I agree with Senator Bukola Saraki, former Senate President, that the main issue should be the integrity of the National Assembly. The integrity of this National Assembly has been dragged so poorly on the streets of Nigeria that yesterday we watched the spectacle, the Nollywood type style, engagement of sponsored hungry Nigerians. One party carrying placards and banners, in fact, designer banners, supporting one side to the argument, the other side supporting the other side. I think it's very bad optics, and that the National Assembly is bringing us this embarrassment is to be condemned by every Nigerian. This is a matter of urgent national interest to the extent that the representatives of the Nigerian people have exposed that institution to ridicule. Nigerians want to know what happens at the end of the day. We understand that they have their order book and all of that. This matter can go to the court and all that. One technicality or the other, the matter will be thrown out. The basic issue will not have been addressed. As for the issues about defamation and all that, there's something called res, the main substance of the case. The main substance of this issue is the allegation of sexual harassment. And we Nigerians need to know what is the truth. Is Natasha Akpoti a witness of truth? Is Akpabio himself, who says he was well brought up by a single mother, is he a witness of truth? This is what Nigerians, would like to know. Beyond all of that, I think that the senators, out of enthusiasm, excitement, should refrain from, blackmailing one another and the kind of, personal attacks that have been heaping on Senator Akpoti. First, we had, she has children from 2 men. Another one, they say, she has 3 children, 1 child, 1 husband. In fact, somebody called me this morning and said, no, it's actually 6 husbands, and 6 children. Now, all of this is immaterial. This is, misogyny playing out, patriarchy playing out. Let them deal with the substance of the matter. How she lives her life privately is not the matter. The matter is whether the National Assembly is an appropriate forum for cockadry, whereas the purpose of that assembly is for the lawmakers to conduct themselves as distinguished people. If they don't conduct themselves as distinguished people, the electorate should take notice and make sure that they're extinguished where their guilt can be established. And we expect them to conduct themselves as gentlemen, as responsible people. That is our concern.
Thank you.